Hi guys, this is one of those background projects, as I like to call them, things that I just sort of tinker with in the background while I'm doing other things. Yeah, picked this up in a charity shop. Can't remember how much I paid for it, wouldn't have been much. Monster High Dracula, or something like that. 2011 Mattel, made in China. Now, you may notice it's got a wheel missing. That's only because I've taken it off to find out how they go together. And that little bit levers out so you can just plug them in. Yeah, I bought it as I thought it just looked fun. And it might be fun to motorise it. When I do a project like this, I usually get torn between two ways to go. I could either cut everything out and just put it on a different chassis and that's it, job done. But then it doesn't look like the original, like, you know, if you change the wheels and that. So the other option is to try and keep the original wheels and sympathetically modify it. And I'm not quite sure which way to go. If I keep the original wheels, you can see they're just hard plastic. It's not going to have much grip. But on the other hand, I wasn't really thinking of making it into a racing car. I'm going to have to significantly cut areas out the front here anyway, just so we got space for the wheels to turn. Something like I had to do on this one. I had to chop the bodywork out so we could turn the wheels. So I'm going to have to cut it about to do that anyway. If I do that, I can see straight away there's a problem, because those two holes there are the screws that hold the bottom of the bodywork to the top of the bodywork. We've got two more there, and then we've got two more here, which again are going to be in the way for the rear axle. So that's going to come across there. So this might go on for quite a while. I'm not sure whether to make it individual episodes or just do it and then show you the finished job. I've been toying with this gearbox that came out of something completely different. At some time or other I'd taken the motor out of it, so I've been finding another motor. That's not the original axle on there, that's a much longer axle than the original one. And although it's a great big box gearbox, there's not very much in it. The orange bits are where I've already been doing some work on it. On the original, this gear here would slide in and out of alignment with there. When you're using the car as a push along without the battery on it, or without it switched on, that would be pushed this way, so it didn't make contact, so you could just push the car along freewheeling. I don't want it to do that, I want it to be permanently in place, so I've put a little plastic washer there to hold it in position. And then at this end, that's not the original motor, that's one from another car, which I've had to take apart and work on because it was burnt out. It was just the windings had come desoldered from the tags that go to the commutator. So I fixed that, but the shaft's a little bit short on this one, so I've had to print my own gear there, pinion gear, with this extension bit on it, so that holds it in position. Because it's just short shaft, it does tend to go out of alignment and drop off, so I've made it full width so it can't slide off and drop off the end, so that holds it in place. Oh, that axle there, as I say, it's not the original, that's a extended one I put on there for something that I wanted very wide wheelbase on. I don't need it to be that wide to go on there, so I can cut it down again. But the question is, do I use those wheels? Because I think this gearbox will fit under there with a fairly minimum amount of cutting to get it in there. And if I use it like this with the long axles, I can probably avoid damaging the pillar that goes down through there to where that's screwed in place. I think we'll just clear it. Might have to mount this at a funny angle or something to get it in there. But I think we can get drive to it fairly easily. It's deciding how we're going to do the steering. So I'll have to think about that. I think the bottom line is we're going to have to just do away with those pillars and posts where those screws are, because there's no way I can turn that without it. Where's that one? Yeah. I can't see that we can do that without cutting that bit out. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see if we can get this in there somewhere with a minimal amount of cutting, and we will give it a go with the existing wheels, just see what happens. Now, before I finish, this is incredibly noisy. I don't know if it's because my new PLA gears are noisy, but if I stick that together, I'll just let you hear how noisy it is. If we just give it a 2S. You ready? Yeah, a bit noisy. Anyway, that'll do for part 1. Thanks for watching. You'll find more information down in the video description. You might like to watch that video up there, and you might like to subscribe over there.